Okay, so this is a video for air screw and how to swap over RPC connectors from grey to yellow. And I've got two trays here. This one isn't actually the same type as yours, but the procedure is the same. And this is the yellow that you're going to use, admittedly not in the greatest condition, but this is what they're like before we do our magic on them. So mine has got no cells in, which makes life easier for me. I could just remove one and then put it onto here, and there'll be no problem. Meanwhile, when you're taking them off here, these terminals, the pins inside the terminals can't touch, because otherwise it would short the batteries, and that's a bad thing. So I'm going to show how to do it without that ever being a risk. We'll do one pin at a time. So the first thing you're going to have to do is remove the fuse links, or remove two of the batteries. It has to be two on these systems because they're kind of in parallel. These two work together and these two work together. So on the old cell pack, I'd say take the rear two batteries out, and then this is essentially, there'll be no voltage through there if you measure it with a multimeter. And then when we go into this one, you'll see I'll put it back on. I'll do one pin at a time, which means that there's always one pin in the housing. I'm just going to put you on my tripod and show you how I do it. Okay, that's quite good. Okay, and like that. Right, the other thing you're going to need, only tool, is a flathead screwdriver. Bear with me. Okay, so this is thin. You could use other things, pocket knife or whatnot, probably even a credit card if you want to, but it's something just to prise a retaining lockout of the housing. So the pins are held in with a small clip. So I'm looking at the pins there. You see there's a little clip on the side. I'm going to poke that down. That will release it and mean that I can back out the terminal. So there we go. Red's now out. Actually comes out, and you can see this is what you're pushing down with your screwdriver. You can see it moving a little bit, so you have to push it down and it disengages from there. That means you can back the terminal up. I'm actually going to put this back in now so that I can do the whole procedure the way you're going to have to do it. So refocus. Bingo. Okay, so you've already removed the two rear batteries. This is now isolated. You could remove the front two as well if you want to be sure. You're probably going to have to do it anyway to recycle them. You should be recycling them either at the local refuse or with Scrapman. And that means we can take this connector off. So I'm pressing down the small tab and then backing out the connector. And that means I have the connector I want to use over here. Now these batteries we'll assume that this has, we'll pretend that this has batteries in. So we can't leave these two terminals out at the same time, because if they touch, they'll short, they'll get a spark and it'll blow the fuses. So I'm going to take out one, and then I'm going to put it into this housing. And then when I've finished that, observe that there's obviously positive is red, there's little markings on where there's a positive, so you can get the side wrong. Just check that positive's going to red. It'll be the same on the removal and on the insert, so you can just match the side. And then the second one is out. And going back in, and you can just check visually that they're actually in secure and that the tabs won't back out again, and then you're done. If you've got a multimeter you can check, but there's no need to. So to overcap, take the cells out of the old battery pack, remove the housing, then go to the new battery pack and one at a time back out the cables and put into the new one. Don't have both cables out at the same time, because that's when they can touch and you get a short. And for this bit you might want someone to help you, because backing them out, you're probably going to want to release that while someone moves on the back. It's a bit hard to do if you've never done it before. Any trouble, give us a shout. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to see how this looks on the TV now.